Welcome to Movie Rec. Today, we are listing our top recommendations for movies with plot twist. This is the third part of this series. Don't forget to check out our previous videos. The Illusionist is a 2006 American romantic mystery film written and directed by Neil Berger and starring Edward Norton, Paul Giamatti, and Jessica Biel. It is based loosely on Stephen Millhauser's short story Eisenheim the Illusionist. The film tells the story of Eisenheim, a magician in turn-of-the-century Vienna who reunites with his childhood love, a woman far above his social standing. The film also depicts a fictionalized version of the Marilyn incident. It has a rating of 7.6 on IMDb and 73% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
Do you know me?
No.
A master magician named Eisenheim, played by Edward Norton, vies with Crown Prince of Vienna, played by Rufus Sewell, for the hand of noblewoman Sophie, played by Jessica Biel, the girl he once loved. He brings his considerable powers to bear on the prince, as she is about to be named royal fiancée. However, a police inspector named Uhl, played by Paul Giamatti, tries to warn Eisenheim that he is playing a very dangerous game.
What do you want? Nothing.
Then why bring her back?
Just to be with her.
In the name of His Imperial Majesty and the city of Vienna, I hereby...
The line between truth and illusion is blurred so persuasively that for a moment or two, you may even believe that a romantic costume drama could stand up to all those special effects blockbusters in the dog days of summer. The Illusionist is a deceptively simple yet magical cinematic experience. In its unassuming way, the film shows that reality is more mystifying than illusion.
But everything that you have seen is an illusion. It's a trick.
Shoot me. Come on.
No, I can't.
Do it!
How'd you like that?
How do you do it?
Magic.
The Prestige is a 2006 science fantasy psychological thriller film directed by Christopher Nolan from a screenplay by Nolan and his brother Jonathan, based on the 1995 novel of the same name by Christopher Priest. It follows Robert Englert and Alfred Borden, rival stage magicians in London at the end of the 19th century, obsessed with creating the best stage illusion. They engage in a competitive rivalry with tragic results. It has a rating of 8.5 on IMDb and 76% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
The one they're gonna remember me for.
What happened?
The film stars Hugh Jackman as Robert Englert and Christian Bale as Alfred Borden. It also stars Scarlett Johansson, Michael Caine, Piper Perabo, Andy Serkis, Rebecca Hall, and David Bowie as Nikola Tesla. The film reunites Nolan with actors Bale and Caine from Batman Begins and returning cinematographer Wally Pfister, production designer Nathan Crowley, and editor Lee Smith.
The pledge. The magician shows you something ordinary, but of course, it probably isn't. The second act is called The Turn.
He's obsessed with discovering your method.
The magician makes this ordinary something do something extraordinary. Now you're looking for the secret, but you won't find it. That's why there's a third act called The Prestige.
The film is never less than engaging, though considering that the title The Prestige refers to the moment in a magic act that gives it its wow factor, it's kind of a shame that the ultimate reveal in the movie is a little too tricky for its own good. It's quite a movie, atmospheric, obsessive, almost satanic.
Magicians pretend to do.
Real magic.
I know what you really are.
How does he do it?
You want the truth?
Nothing is impossible.
Abracadabra.
No more secrets.
Secrets of my life. 오늘도 역시 대충 수습이 안 된다. 난 이제
Oldboy is a 2003 South Korean action thriller film, directed and co-written by Park Chan-wook, a loose adaptation of the Japanese manga of the same name. The film follows the story of Odisu, played by Choi Min-sik, who is imprisoned in a cell which resembles a hotel room for 15 years without knowing the identity of his captor nor his captor's motive. When he is finally released, Odisu finds himself still trapped in a web of violence and conspiracy. His own quest for vengeance becomes tied in with romance when he falls in love with an attractive young sushi chef, Maidu, played by Kang Ha-young. It has a rating of 8.4 on IMDb and 81% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
복수하고 싶어서가 아니라 왜 그랬는지 알고 싶어서 싸운다고 했지.
Oldboy is a delirious, confronting ride, a movie full of visceral shocks and aesthetic pleasures. It has an explosive immediacy and a persistent afterlife, a lingering impact that is hard to shake.
숨어있던 고통이 다시 찾아와.
Oldboy still stands up as a modern revenge masterpiece, full of extreme violence and brutal shocks, but with heart and a story that draws you in and keeps you invested with every twist and turn. No Mercy is a 2010 South Korean action thriller film written and directed by Kim Hyung-jun. It has a rating of 7.4 on IMDb and 81% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
아주 이쁘게 잘 자랐던데요. 원하는 게 뭐야? 저를 이 안에서 3일 안에 대한민국 최고의 부검인 딸을 토막 살인해서 내 딸한테 무슨 일 생기면 가만두지 않을 거야. 상관없어요.
Top forensic pathologist Kang Min-ho is about to retire so that he can spend time with his daughter, who has just returned home after a long stint overseas. But when the dismembered corpse of a young woman, identified as Oh Yoon-ah, is found at a local river, Kang agrees to do one last job.
내가 왜 그러는 거 같으세요? 뭐 묻었어요?
No Mercy is a very scarring movie. It's a Korean crime drama without any romantic element whatsoever. Nonetheless, it's still a quintessentially Korean movie. A lot of thrill and suspense, but at the end, it's all about feeling the pain in the heart. Once the movie ends, viewers are guaranteed to be left with an empty hole, a gaping feeling that lingers for hours.
이제 생각났어, 네가 누군지. What do you get for the man who has...
The Game is a 1997 American thriller film directed by David Fincher, starring Michael Douglas, Sean Penn, Deborah Kara Unger, and James Raporn, and produced by Propaganda Films and Polygram Filmed Entertainment. It tells the story of a wealthy investment banker who is given a mysterious gift by his brother, participation in a game that integrates in strange ways with his everyday life. As the lines between the banker's real life and the game become more uncertain, hints of a large conspiracy become apparent. It has a rating of 7.7 on IMDb and 78% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
John, chapter 9, verse 25. Whereas once I was blind, now I can see. Now I can see.
One day your game begins. You either love it or hate it.
Are you going to spend the rest of the evening prying at that clown's mouth?
Mr. Van Orton.
David Fincher's The Game is unlike any other movie in its video game-inspired narrative. The ending is somewhat clunky, and the movie was too convenient and predictable, but this was still a superbly executed thriller in directing, score, and production design, with a particularly fantastic, layered performance from Michael Douglas, who has rarely been better than he was here.
He's in on it.
I paid the bill. I paid him more to make it stop.
I need the police. We're gonna break into my house. I need toys with a bunch of depraved children. They're trying to kill me.
Who's behind this? Who did this to me? Why?
This is all the game.
Ah!
Right now, I am extremely dangerous.
You're behind the whole thing, aren't you?
No!
make your life fun.
Where's our lucky winner?
Upstairs, sir. Room 614.
Jay Murdoch.
Dark City is a 1998 science fiction film directed by Alex Proyas and starring Rufus Sewell, Kiefer Sutherland, Jennifer Connelly, Richard O'Brien, and William Hurt. The screenplay was written by Proyas, Lem Dobbs, and David S. Goyer. Sewell plays John Murdoch, an amnesiac man who finds himself suspected of murder. Murdoch attempts to discover his true identity and clear his name while on the run from the police and a mysterious group known only as the Strangers. It has a rating of 7.6 on IMDb and 75% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
How do you know all this? You're not a murderer. And you're not crazy, John.
It seems you've discovered your unpleasant nature.
What do they want from me? First, there was darkness. Then came the strangers. The city.
The experience of Dark City is one that no film lover should miss. Probably the most underrated movie of all time. This movie has everything an audience needs. This movie is filled with electrifying cinematography, elements of horror, surrealism, haunting background scoring, and a thought-provoking theme. An absolute sci-fi classic.
You're not gonna believe what I have to say.